so I had a very big decision to make at that point. Was I going to pursue college golf, which would have taken me out of Las Vegas, or was I going to stay here and take care of them? My name's Lacher. I am the 2016 scholarship and internship recipient at Eglet Prince Law Firm. I started golf when I turned 13 years old and started taking golf lessons just around at Angel Park, and I got hooked and I started playing almost every day since then, and eventually joined the high school golf team when I became a 9th grader. My schedule was pretty grueling. Once I got hooked on golf, I would go, my dad would drop me off at the course 6 a.m. until when school would start at 8, and then I would go to school all day and get picked up at around 3, and we would go back to the course and we'd practice until sundown. In order to qualify for the Nevada Girls State Golf Tournament, you have to participate and do well in the regionals, which was for us held in Boulder City. I was fortunate enough to win that tournament, but it really was an eye-opener to the quality of players that would be at the state tournament. The first day we head out in groups. I remember it being pretty windy, so that's another challenge to playing golf, is when there's a lot of wind. And I had played just how I had planned to play in my head before I went out, and I ended up being tied for first at the first day. So the second day we go out and it flew by, and I'm at the last hole, I'm checking my cards, and I realized after they're putting the scores up that I had won the state tournament as a sophomore by 14 strokes. And I didn't keep track of that in my head. I was just playing my own game, taking a stroke at a time. But it was really an incredible feeling that all that hard work had paid off. I definitely thought from that moment that I had the potential to play in college, and that would help me pay for college through a golf scholarship. So about midway through my junior year of high school, I found out that my grandparents their health was deteriorating pretty quickly, more so than it had, and that more care was going to be needed to help them through. My grandma needed a quadruple bypass surgery, and not too long after that, my grandpa was diagnosed with bladder cancer. And so their care needed to be coordinated at a more serious level. And ultimately, I made the decision to stay here and take care of them. It's one that I'm very glad that I made. No regrets ever. And so what I did to help do that was that I unenrolled from Faith Lutheran, and I started to go to online high school. That allowed me to have a really flexible schedule, to be there at doctor's appointments, help pick up prescriptions, and keep the house running as normal as possible, because as everybody knows, home health care is extremely expensive, and that's not something my family was in a position to do. And my mom and dad were at work during the days, so I was the one who could make it happen and do the work that needed to be done. And so while I was doing that, I started to go to CSN, College of Southern Nevada Night School, to start my college, because I wanted to keep things rolling even though it was difficult. So while I was taking care of my grandparents, I was at a lot of doctor's visits. Sometimes we had to go into rehabilitation facilities after big surgeries to help take care of them. And I noticed the people that didn't have somebody there to advocate for them were really taken advantage of or not taken care of very well. And it was really disheartening to see that other people could treat other people like that. And so instead of just saying, that's not right, I found that lawyers have the standing to go and do something about it rather than just be angry about it. And so that's when I started looking into law school and what it would take to do that. So I found out about the scholarship through our law school, the William S School of Law, and they had posted an announcement saying that the Eglet Prince Law Firm had offered a full-year tuition scholarship and a full-year internship. And I I jumped at that because I had seen their work, I had heard about them, and so I had applied actually too early when I was a 2L, and I had submitted my application, and they said, okay, thank you for your application, but this is only available for 3Ls, third year final law students. And so I applied again, and I had heard back that there was going to be a final round of interviews, and I was selected as a finalist, and I was really, really excited, very nervous too. And so I went in, I met with Mr. and Mrs. Eglet, and they asked me a number of questions. Why are you passionate about trial work? What's your dedication to the community? I remember very, very clearly that I was in the law school library when I got the call. It was Mr. Eglet, and he said, well, we've made our decision today, and there was a pause. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I got this. And then he was, we're really excited to have you on board. And a huge sigh of relief, and I was just so excited on cloud 9 that I was gonna start with their firm. This is by no means a go run and get coffee internship. You're involved in the meetings, you're involved in strategy, you're expected to put in your input and be prepared to defend why you think the way that you do. The most valuable lesson that I've learned at Eglet Prince Law Firm, and what's amazed me the most, is how these clients that have been through, many of which hell and back with their injuries and being harmed by whether it's a product or another person, is how much they trust in us to tell their story to a group of complete strangers, in other words, jurors, and how we get that responsibility and that honor to do that, and that how they let us into their lives and be a part of that with them, and to see the cases come from the beginning to for a full circle have really opened my eyes to it's not just a law, it's not just a fact pattern, it's the whole picture coming together. My advice to my successor would be to take full advantage of every opportunity that you have in your internship. Go to every deposition that you can. Talk to every partner about any legal issues that you're facing with a case that you're working on. Knock on every door every day and say, how can I help out? And you'll be amazed at the opportunities and the cases and the responsibility that you're entrusted with.